Alright, we got this Saturn 2.2 liter 4-cylinder. So starter starts smoking and the jump started, and then the reason why they keep going bad is like the third or second time to replace the starter and it's still doing the same thing. And it's because this vehicle is not equipped with a PCV valve to vent the oil coming out from the valve cover. So see right there, see that? You get direct straight to here, and then oil will get sucked into the intake manifold, will drip down to the runner, and then that's when you start causing the leak. Also, see that? See underneath that intake manifold is leaking from here. There's the oil coming out from there also, and also the sending unit is also leaking on top of the starter. That's why it's causing the starter to burn out and have a bad connector. You can't combine electric with oil, and it's gonna have a bad connection, and the next thing you know the starter is not gonna run right. Yep, I would suggest fix that sending unit and then starter if they want to try to clean this intake manifold or replace it. I see a lot of intake manifold will just get stuck from the bottom and it start leaking. It will start leaking, you know what I mean, from this seal right here, in between the seal, in between this right here. Yep, that's the problem right there. That's the main problem. You know, start going bad and it start noticing oil leak around your starter. First thing I would check sending unit and also this runner right here, and also the valve cover gasket. There's three things will cause that problem: valve cover gasket, the intake manifold, and also sending unit will cause your starter to go bad. Everybody replace the starter right here, guys. You got Saturn, yep. All right. You got a bad starter right here, but make sure you disconnect this knock sensor first before you destroy it. Yep, disconnect the knock sensor, and then disconnect the battery, negative battery from the back of the truck. Make sure you disconnect the battery first before you start taking this off, because you get the live battery on this one right here. You don't want to do that. So yeah, it's two bolts right there. You got one and also one on the inside. Yep. You gotta replace that one, but you're gonna take this out. I think that's a 13 millimeter. Yep, 13 millimeter. 13 millimeter. Make it quick right here, guys. There's a 13. We have the 8 millimeter right here. That's an 8 millimeter. Just take this out. Take that off. 8 millimeter. That's an 8 millimeter right there. It's pretty easy. These are pretty easy. Take it right there. See, that's the signal. Disconnect that signal. And you get that power right there. And also you got the main power also. Disconnect right there. Forget about the washer, because you get a new washer anyways with the new battery. After you do that right there, you make sure you take the back one, the other bolt from the top, just like 15. And then it's kind of hard to see, but you have to eyeball it. Just feel it. See, when you feel it like that, and then take it up. You just gotta take that off right there. Break it loose. After you break that loose, you gotta feel it. You can feel that. Yep. You feel it. Which one? One that. It's kind of hard to see. You just gotta feel it. There it is. this up right here also. Take that bolt out right there. Alright, up. There's the bolt right there. It's 15 millimeter. 15 millimeter. You gotta get that off. And also another. There you move. There's another bolt back there. So it's not loose yet. So I'm not too trying to get that going. You'll feel it. That'll be right. There's. There's it. Whoa. Finally got it off. See? Also make sure you check the teeth of the flywheel, make sure it's not damaged or anything. And also if you're trying to do a diag on the starter, make sure you rotate the crank sensor. The crank shaft. Make sure engine's not locked up. Because if you're trying to just replace the starter without doing a diagnostic, next thing you know your engine's locked up. Of course your starter is not going to spin if it's locked up, right? And it's also make sure you check the power and ground on your starter. Make sure you're getting a 12 volts voltage coming into your starter. Because if not, of course the starter is not going to spin if there's no power, you know what I mean? And also you keep an eye on this wire, make sure it's not broken or anything that causing the problem. Yep. Or if you want to go all that crazy stuff, you could take the starter out and send it to the AutoZone, any parts area, any auto parts, to bench test it, and it will go bench test it for you, see if it's really working or not. You know, that's it. That's all you need, guys. Yep. See, make sure you rotate this one right here. I think it's 21 millimeter. Make sure you rotate it. Make sure that one spin. If it don't spin, you already know your starter. You already know the engine's locked up. You know what I mean? The same thing right here. Make sure this one you got power. You got direct power. Gotta be 12 volts or more. And then this signal right here. Make sure you got signal. Make sure the signal right here. This is signal right here. Make sure the signal is getting signal for your ignition switch. Make sure that one is getting both in there as a signal. And this one right here, this is just a jumper cable for your alternator. See, alternator is getting power from the starter because you got a jumper cable because of this one right here. So it's kind of like connected to like that, you know what I mean? So make sure those two are getting power. That's it, guys. So we're just waiting for the starter now. Nope. Right there. See, that's which one's causing the problem. See right there? You soak it with oil. You probably could rebuild it. Take it apart and rebuild it. Robin?
Sorry.
No, I just want to do a starter. That's it. I think they're trying to sell it. I'm trying to sell it. See right there? You probably could fix it. Take it off and clean it up real well. And then, you know, and put it back in there. That's what I did to my for my outboard. For my boat motor inboard. I took it apart and wire brush it, and I put it back in there. It ran. It's pretty. There's actually, you could buy a dribble kit for a starter. You know that? Yeah. Well, if you're gonna do that, it's too much work. You know what I mean? Not too much work. It's cheaper, guarantee. Yep. It's fixed.
Bro,
yep.
that shit fucking. I looked at him. I'm like, it's fine.
Nice, nice. And now we got the new starter right here, fellas. New starter. Yep. Same starter. Oh, we're getting ready to put it on. Alright, let's do this right here, fellas. The best way to do this, you have to make sure you put this on first. I really put it on first. Just guide it, because if not, you're gonna be struggling trying to get that inlet on. So that's how I would do, and then put this right here. Make sure you just work it out, and then let's see, tighten this up first. This one goes first, you know what I mean? And then with the other one, you just gotta guide the other one. See, if you don't guide that, you're gonna be struggling. See that? I got it. Guide. Make sure you always put that on first, and then just tighten it. Oh, see that? Be careful. And then you gotta use a regular. You gotta manually torque it, because if not, you're gonna be struggling. Make sure it's tight, not too crazy tight, but make sure it's in there, you know what I mean? And the same thing with this one right here. Now, after you do that right there, now you gotta get the main power. You put the main, this one first, this one goes first, you know what I mean? After you put that, and this goes next. After you do that right there, and then you put the washer. Make sure you put the washer. Without that washer, that's how you destroy the bolt or the nut. And I usually don't just tie them up with the wireless or any air ratchet. I just do manually. Torque it with this. Just do manually, you know what I mean? Because you ever need to go super crazy tight. Because if you're trying to use it with the power or air or electric thing, that's how you destroy that the solenoid, that one there. You don't use so much power to tighten this up. Just enough, just good enough to like snug it. After you do that, you put the signal. Make sure the signal is not corroded. If you got corrosion on that signal, make sure you wire brush it and clean it or replace it. And then also make sure you put this washer. Always this washer goes first, and then put the little small bolt. I think it's 8mm, and you put the 8mm right there. See, 8mm, just go like that. You just hand torque it. After that, use your use this one right here, your little manually tie them up. It's not too tight. Make sure it's not too crazy, because you could snap that bolt, man. I've seen a lot of people done that, and I did that myself too. So especially when if you're a mechanic, man, you're always gonna bump into you know, mistake. But that mistake, make sure you fix your own mistake, because if not, it's not right. You know what I mean? You know, I'll put a zip tie right there so this one won't be dangling around. Because if you keep that dangling around, that's a knock sensor, man. You don't want that shit to get destroyed. If you destroy the knock sensor, the car will be running weird. Just make sure you give them a little extra zip tie, you know what I mean? Because you know, zip tie is free anyway. I always put a lot of zip tie on the vehicle. If you don't put zip tie on that one, it could come back on you and bite you in the butt, you know what I mean? Sometimes I always do extra work when you're doing customer car, because they're gonna appreciate it. You're gonna appreciate what you do, what extra work you did for them, and then next thing you know, they'll definitely keep coming back for you, and then you're gonna appreciate your job, what type of service you do. And also make sure you put back the old starter back to the box, because those things got core. You gotta return it to the auto shop, auto parts, so you get your money back, you know what I mean? If you want to look for what kind of parts is this thing, it is the parts right there. Yep, that's it, guys. All done. Make sure it's all good. That's how you do it. Pretty simple. Yep. And then this is the parts right here, guys. If you want to know what kind of parts that is, it's from Out of Zone. See that? You got a $40 core price. That's a lot of money, man. I just don't understand why they have to charge hella people for just the core, and they're gonna send it out to get a rebuild. And all you gotta do now, guys, you just gotta put the battery back on and start it. Done deal. Yep. Alright, man, we'll put the starter now. We got the starter in there, we got the battery hooked up. So we're just gonna do the final if our diagnostic all right or not. So we're about to find out, guys. Let's see. Wish me luck on my start. First start. Ooh. Cracking. Oh, it ran. Ooh, started. Car started, guys. I guess we fixed the problem, guys. Amazing, huh? Amazing. Started. Car started, guys. Three starters in there. The thing is, though, we did tell the customer that it's leaking, you know, so he knows about it. He just want to get it fixed, and then he's gonna kind of sell it or drive until it break again. The good thing about it, starter does have some warranty on it. I think 12 months warranty. So if it does break again, you're gonna get a warranty to the auto zone. Yep, all fixed, guys. Never buy this motor. There you go.